Howdy, y'all. Hey, I'm going to be doing this tale off the cuff and from memory for a couple of reasons. One, to test out some new audio equipment, and two, just because I'm trying to get around to some of the other stuff I'm doing. So I'm going to be experimenting during this, so tell me what you think about the audio down below, and then forgive me for not putting much effort into the images, alright? So, here we go. Once upon a time, I knew a guy who was a manager at a restaurant. He seemed like a normal guy. He was Hispanic, well-dressed, sort of lower middle income. He was about 5'10", maybe a little shorter. Not in the best of shape. Now, he seemed constantly distracted. He seemed constantly somewhere else. He seemed too easily upset, and that's going to be important to remember for MGTOWs, other red pill men, and just blue pill men in general, and also women. I think women already know this, but I'll go on. So, yes. He seemed too easily upset and constantly somewhere else, constantly distracted. And so I just went about my business knowing him. He was a fine fellow, and he constantly was talking about his son. He constantly was talking about doing stuff for his son. And he was constantly mentioning, guess how attractive his live-in girlfriend was? No, I got the feeling. I just got the feeling with some of the stuff he was talking about that she was, how shall I say, a ghetto queen. She might have been hot. I think maybe I saw her once. I think maybe I saw her once. She had like tattoos. She was Hispanic. And yeah, she was pretty good. Even though after the kid, she had a pretty good, butt and thighs going on. I believe she had the traditional long, overly product hair that was very shiny. And it seemed to me, I don't know, this guy just reeked what the PBAs would call beta. He just reeked beta to me. But, hey, I thought he had something going on. I thought maybe, hypergamy and all that other stuff, would explain the sort of 7-8 quality of his live-in girlfriend. And then one day, I was talking to a friend of his, a friend of mine. This friend I had known for 3-4 months. We had bonded. We used to play Dark Souls together. Sometimes switch off, and then sometimes we would play co-op. He had actually known this guy for 2-3 years, the manager. And, I brought up, it's like, hey, why does that guy always seem upset? What's up with that guy? And my friend pointed out, it's like, oh, well, it's his girlfriend. She cheats on him. I was like, well, what? Well, why does he stay with her? And he goes, I don't know, man. No one knows why he stays with her. Everyone knows she cheats on him. And, yet he still stays with her. And I was thinking, okay, well, standard issue garbage, standard issue blue pill beta bullshit. And so I didn't really give much thought to it. And I go, oh, it's probably because of the kid. And he goes, yeah, man, well, that's the most astounding part. That's not his kid, my friend said. I was like, wait, that's not the manager's kid? And my friend goes, no, man, that's like some other dude's kid. She, cheated on him with this sort of, guy who in and out of prison, of course. And no one understands why he stays with her or supports the kid. And I sort of think I knew, he was probably psychologically abused and broken, like she owned him. But then I was asking, it's like, well, wait, if everyone knows it, does he know it? And my friend goes, yeah, man, that's the craziest part. He knows, and yet still, he stays with her. And yet still, he acts like that's his kid. He takes pride in, how great the kid's turning out. she cheated on him with the genetic lottery, apparently. And the kid's, like handsome and fit and outgoing and all that other stuff, all the stuff people brag about. And I was just stunned. I was like, wait, so he knew his girlfriend cheated. He knows his girlfriend still cheats. He knows that kid is not his, and yet he still stays? And he goes, yeah, man, he still stays. In fact, she almost brags, and I had to confirm this later, and I'll get to that real quick. She almost brags that the baby daddy is a better guy. Oh, and that's when I nearly lost my shit. I actually had to stop playing the video game we were playing. And so over the next 2 weeks, I sort of confirmed this. I had to wait for the beta provider blue pill bullshit to start happening before I saw it. And so the manager was complaining about having to get a bed. He had to buy a new bed. Kid grew out of the old one. Right? And he was just complaining about how much it was. And I tried to coax him into talking about it. It's like, oh, so, well, at least the good news is, your kid's growing. Your kid's healthy. That's good. And he had a look on his face like he didn't want to admit it. But he goes, oh, the kid is not really mine, but it's doing really good. It's doing real good. And my girlfriend says because of me. The kid's doing really good because of me, because I'm, such a good provider. That's essentially what he implied. And he was almost proud that he was getting cuckolded. He was almost proud. And apparently this woman shamelessly just rubs it in his face that that's not his kid. Apparently this woman shamelessly says, hey, yeah, actually, I forget how she puts it. She couldn't have done better with any other baby daddy, right? Any other sperm donor, right? And she's got this guy so twisted, so wrapped up, that he thinks it's some point of pride to not only tolerate a habitually cheating female, but to dump his money, which he complains about spending, on a kid that isn't his. And you could tell it gets him twisted. You could tell deep down inside, in a few more years, if this guy doesn't take off, this guy doesn't break out, yeah, he might hurt somebody. Oh, he might hurt, more likely than not, he's going to hurt himself. But you can see it in him. You can see it in him. And just because I'm trying to keep this short, because I didn't script it out, and the drama is not too story archy. Sorry about that, guys. I'm testing some other stuff. I'm going to say advice to men and even women out there. Look, if there's a guy out there who's got a live-in girlfriend, wife, whatever, and he seems constantly pissed about something, he seems a little too upset over garbage that shouldn't upset him, that's a sign that he's getting cuckolded. And whether he knows it consciously or subconsciously, he fucking knows it. And that's the kind of guy you need to watch out for. Right? It's not these overtly aggressive guys. It's not these alpha motherfuckers. It's not even these omega motherfuckers. Right? That's where a lot of people got this twisted. They think they gotta watch out for the guy who can't get laid. No. What you gotta watch out for is the guy who's getting laid. But the woman who's fucking him is also fucking other dudes. And when they don't consciously know it, hey, at least consciously they're broken. But when they only know it subconsciously, that shit's gonna blow up. That shit's gonna blow up, and when they're finally called out on it, these women finally get caught, and these men finally have to face the truth that they subconsciously knew, like Manny. Remember Manny the male feminist? Yeah. That shit's not gonna end pretty. So we need to do something that women, seriously, do you care about the safety of yourselves, the people around you, your children? You really need to tell these women to stop cuckolding their men. And men, if you know some bitch is cheating on her man, especially if that's not his kid, you need to find some way to stop that shit. Because seriously, the look in this guy's eyes, I give him about till the time that kid hits puberty. About 3-5 more years. Before he loses his motherfucking shit. And people start dying. Alright. Well, you guys have a nice day. And always remember to go your own way. Yours truly, M.